Today's episode is sponsored by Sonos Arc, the premium smart sound bar for TV, movies, music, gaming, and more. Stay tuned for additional details about Sonos Arc later in today's show. Starter no Zoom, now we're here. Bryant McFadden, Pat Peterson, all things covered. You guys see the banner right in front of us. You see on the Jumbotron. We're here, TCO Performance Center, home of the Minnesota Vikings. Man, this is a big-time show. We decided to bring the show on the road. If you guys have been following the show, usually me and Pat P, he's at one part of the country, I'm on another. But guess what? We're here right now. We're also joined by two outstanding members of the Minnesota Vikings. Defensive All-Pro linebacker from UCLA, Bruins stand-up. Oddly enough, he's only made one Pro Bowl, which was in 2019. We're going to talk about that disrespect a little later in the show. Right. All-Pro linebacker Eric Kendricks is joining us here, all things covered. But you sitting next to Eric on his right side, your left, superstar, emerging superstar at the wide receiver position.
Second appearance,
friend of the show, family of the show, former LSU Tiger, Justin Jefferson. The Gritty, as we like to call him, is joining us as well. Of course, we got Pat P, man.
Yes, sir.
Got an opportunity of watching you guys at practice, man. And this is what we're going to call Skol Check-In.
Yeah,
This is a Skol Check-In. So this is all for the Viking fans. If you don't like the Vikings, oh well. You're going to participate in this Skol Check-In right now. Pat P, man, outstanding day on the grass with the guys. How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Had 2 days off, so the body should feel fresh. You know what I mean? So didn't have an opportunity to play in that Saturday game, but felt good getting back out on the grass and getting with the guys for sure.
Of course, you guys played the Denver Broncos this past Saturday. It's more for the younger guys, but eventually we will see some of the starters take part in the preseason. Eric, man, I just talked about only one Pro Bowl on your resume. I mean, lengthy resume. You've been doing some big-time damage against opposing offenses. Disrespect, why? Why they disrespect
I don't know. I feel like my whole career, from high school to college, college to pros, it's kind of been that way. But I'm just going to keep putting the work in, keep letting the years stack, and then, we'll just look back at the career and see how it went.
And looking at the defense, we talked off camera, the injuries clearly played a big-time factor in the lack of success. How, what are your thoughts about this upcoming defense for this season?
It's exciting. We have a clean slate, obviously, and a lot of new members of the team, but, I feel like the core is still there. We still go out there, we get our work in on the field, we hustle to the ball, and then we make plays. So, I'm excited to bring that aspect of it myself. Pat P as well, but, let's just see how it falls.
Yeah, and I can add to that. My man Eric has been having an awesome training camp thus far. We know you got banged up a little bit last week, young fella. How you feeling so far right now?
I'm feeling pretty good, actually. The shoulder's getting back right. Starting to feel the, mobility and stuff back. So I'm just ready to be back in action. I don't like missing practice. So to actually be out there on the field, actually, suiting up, it feels good to be back.
Man, I know that's right. I know for me, for sure, I hate missing practice as well. I had to get on my coach last week about, getting me a little bit too cold. I said, man, this body got to stay hot, man. I can't get too cold a little bit. But obviously your first time back on the field today, how did you feel? Did you feel a little winded or feel okay?
We've been doing like little workouts on the side with the training staff. So I'm winded, not really, but I guess just excited to be back in action, be back running routes, and be back catching the football.
Right.
What was the player reaction from this past Saturday's ball game? Guys was watching, saw a lot of young players out there getting some experience. Clearly wasn't the outcome you guys hoped for, but individually speaking, what did you see from some of the young guys that participated this past Saturday against the Broncos?
I think, obviously, like you said, it wasn't the result we wanted, and, we could have done a lot better in many areas, but I feel like we got a lot of good looks to where, we can all learn from it. People who didn't play as well as people who played. People are going to attack us in the same way maybe that they attacked us this past weekend. So hopefully we can learn from that and move on from that going forward.
What about the offense, Justin?
I felt like we were a little slow, especially to start it off. But as the game went on, AJ was doing some great stuff at the running back position. Mm-hmm. Receivers just getting their feet wet. A lot of them. It's bright lights out there in that stadium. So everybody just getting their feet wet and just trying to get used to that NFL ball.
And you know, watching the film, my advice I gave the guys, it just seemed like they was playing a little bit too fast. You know, just got to allow the game to slow down for you, allow yourself to be able to think through processes while you're on the field, so you can be able to be successful in that down. You know, so just for the most part, the guys was anxious, obviously, to be back out there for the first time in a while. But I think that this next outcome should be definitely a better outcome for them, because now they understand, you know, the speed of the game. They understand, you know, what's going to come at them, understanding the situation, understanding the personnel that's in front of them. Now they have hot tape out there. So I'm excited to see them go out there and give it a run again.
And speaking of the excitement, give the fans a sneak peek on some young guys they might not know of right now, but some guys that can really do some positive things for this organization given the opportunities. Offensively, who's caught your eye?
I mean, everybody has been doing some crazy things in camp, but Amir, 15, he's been doing some great, phenomenal stuff. I mean, Kellen has been doing some stuff. He need to, you know, get the tempo up a little bit, but he's definitely going to be a problem later to come.
Yeah.
I think DJ's having a good camp. You know, DJ Warner. Obviously, we saw a lot of him last year due to injury, but I think coming into the second year, I feel like he's matured a lot, and especially for D linemen, I feel like it's a hard position to just come in as a rookie and play the run and play the pass and stuff like that. So I'm very excited to see how he does this year too.
Yeah. What about you, Pete?
For me, I'll probably say I stay in the secondary. Chris Boyd. You know, I thought he had a solid
29,
game.
right?
Yeah, 29. I thought he had a great game. Well, a good game Saturday. You know, he had a couple pass breakups. Just a couple things that we needed to clean up was his eyes, and he came to practice and fixed that. You know, that's one of the things that, you know, you can tell he's a guy that cares about the game and want to put good tape out there. And today I thought he had a phenomenal practice. You know, with as far as with his eyes, his leverage, squeezing routes. So that's one of the young guys I'm excited to see give it another crack Saturday against the Colts at some point, because you can tell he's trying to take his game to the next level.
Yeah. Now, eventually, you know, the real bullets will start to fly. The regular season will start. And I think it's safe to say in the NFC North, everyone is chasing the Green Bay Packers. What do you guys need to do? And, Pat, you know, you were a newcomer to this division, but you guys have been a part of this division for quite some time. What do you need to do to be able to not just catch the Green Bay Packers, but surpass them as well?
I mean, I think we did it last year, but I think it's so important to win when we're at their house. You know what I mean? You start off fast. You know you're gonna get pressured all day. You know you're gonna have to play all 4 quarters. You know what I mean? But just getting a win there. You know, I mean, I don't know if we play here or there first. I have no idea. Yeah. You know, I really don't care. But you know, it's gonna be a battle every single time.
Yeah. What about you, Jesse?
I mean, just like he said, we did it last year. So I mean, we had those few missing pieces last year that we needed to correct. And I feel like we have those pieces now, especially from the defensive side, having some new players on that defensive side. And on offense, we was the 4th offense last year. So we still have the same guys that we had last year, and we even added some new players to the offense. So I'm very, very excited for this team this upcoming year. And with anybody, not even just the Green Bay, I feel like we're going to go pretty far.
Yeah. When you look at Justin, when it comes to the celebration, I think he became a household name, not in Minnesota, but in LSU, hitting us with the gritty. Yeah. You got any new celebration for us this year? Anything new you've been working on?
I'm not changing the gritty until Madden put it on the game. So.
Oh, they don't have it on the game yet?
No.
That's disrespectful.
It very is.
Yeah, they'll find a way to put it on the game.
It's not on there yet. So until then, gritty me up.
Is it on Fortnite?
Yeah, it's on Fortnite.
So wait a minute, they have the gritty on Fortnite, but they don't have the gritty on Madden.
Come on, EA Sport.
Come on, EA.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
The disrespect definitely is real. Well, hey, I tell you this much: anytime you're doing the gritty, something good happens for the Vikings.
Yeah.
So I don't think you have any complaints from the fans that see the gritty. We look at this coaching staff, man. I mean, you got some new pieces here or there. Everyone has been extremely hopeful about what this season could be for the Minnesota Vikings, an entire city, entire state. But you know, with the Coach Zimmer and his staff, man, what has he been emphasizing to the guys?
I mean, this past week, especially, just the discipline in the game, knowing the situation, knowing the down the distance, just things like jumping off sides, especially, we had a couple of mistakes last week. So just going forward, not letting the situation get too big, and knowing, okay, it is 3rd and 4, we can get a hard count, just keeping that in the back of your mind.
I would say bringing the physicality, just knowing what you need to do and executing every single play till its full potential. And this past week we didn't really do that as much, especially from the offensive side. So really just keep pushing it, no matter if it's a run or if it's a pass. Just giving it your 100% and be physical every single play.
Yeah, with me, I'd probably take away probably with him being having a point of emphasis of situational football.
Mm-hmm.
Really understanding how big that point swing can be before half. On defense, not letting his team score before halftime. On offense, scoring before halftime, because your win percentage goes up if you're on defense and you're stopping. If you're on offense, you score. And the same thing at the end of the game, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Just putting us in those situations at all times to where when it presents itself, it won't be a foreign language to us. So
Gotcha.
the point of emphasis for sure I'm taking away is definitely situational football.
Well, for our viewers and listeners that have been following the show, we always transition to the superlative part of the show with our guests. So we're going to go add this right now. I know you handle pressure well, and I know you handle pressure well as well. So this should be easy peasy for you, right? Your honest, unbiased answer, right? Who do you hate more, USC or Green Bay?
USC.
Oh, I'm surprised. And why is that?
I don't know.
Y'all got a special beef over there.
It's crazy because I feel like it's honestly, my dad went to UCLA, so it's a little bit different in that same.
It's like family ties.
Yeah.
And USC never recruited me. I mean, that's besides the point. Never recruited me. And also, I feel like it's crazy because we had this crazy beef in college about USC, UCLA, and but every time I hung out with a USC guy, it was just like we were just like friends because it's like we both live in LA. We're probably both from California, so we're really more similar than we are different, which is crazy. But
yeah, I'd probably say I knew he'd probably go to college because it's almost.
Oh, you knew that?
Yeah, kind of, because it's almost like
different.
Yeah, it's just different in college. that.
Yeah, it is.
It's just different.
But it's some teams, man, like in your division, like you really hate them.
And I feel the same way about Green Bay. Like, it's there for sure.
You hate Green Bay, but you really hate
it's just
USC.
different. It's just different.
All right. For you, Justin, you're an emerging superstar right now, right? You're hitting that trajectory of being a superstar. So when you become like a superstar, you meet a lot of different people. Your famous childhood celebrity crush you would love to meet is who?
Boy or girl?
Either or.
I'll give you both.
Uh-huh.
A girl, Rihanna.
Riri.
Gotta see her.
Okay.
For a male, I would say Drake. Drake is my favorite artist.
Artist, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I'll pick Drake.
So Rihanna's favorite celebrity crush, but your favorite artist is Drake?
No.
Okay.
I got one for you now. I'm going to come back to you, Jet. Best song you listen to, your favorite song you listen to right now.
Right now?
On your tunes.
Oh, I got some. I've been listening to some music too. I've been on that Baby Heart, that little Baby Heart. So I'm gonna have to say with that. I'm gonna have to say with that OK, that Lil Durk and Lil Baby right now.
I got
that
you.
OK been hitting my ears right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Eric, for you, the one running back you really want to give him that but you haven't really got an opportunity to put that helmet on real decent yet. Who is that? Who's the running back you really hadn't got a chance to really piece up real nice yet? Just yet. You itching for the opportunity.
And I really want to hit him.
You really want to hit him.
What team?
What team?
Philip Lindsay?
Philip from the Broncos?
He was
Broncos.
with the Broncos now.
Oh, he's in
It's
Houston?
because
Houston.
we played against each other, and every single time, like, I had an opportunity, he's slippery, like,
Mm-hmm.
And,
smaller back.
Yeah. And every time I thought I was gonna get a good hit on him, he had ran out of bounds. And I was so mad. We were both talking the whole time. You know, he's super competitive.
Right.
You know, but he had a couple of good runs where I was just like, damn, I want to get that. You know, but so I'll say him.
Well, you guys, was he at Colorado when he was at UCLA?
I don't think
so. Well, he may be. Maybe. Y'all don't play Houston this year though, right?
Nah.
So you won't get a chance to.
I literally have no idea the schedule. I just show up whenever they tell us to.
Yeah.
Okay, Philip Lindsay. Well, Philip Lindsay, if you didn't know, you got somebody who really wanna.
Keep
If he
your
gets
head
out
legally.
Your head on that switch.
Legally, yeah, because they
Legally.
will
I'm not
find you.
dirty.
Anything.
I'm
They will
dirty.
find you for anything. Justin, a car you would like to purchase you haven't bought yet.
I'm gonna have to say a Bugatti. I'm gonna just. I ain't saying I'm gonna ever buy it.
Yeah.
Just any Bugatti.
Yeah. Any? Well, heck,
Any
it doesn't
Bugatti.
matter if you go to low class. That's
No, I
still
mean,
about $1 million, right?
A couple mil,
Yeah, a couple mil. If you riding and coaching the Bugatti, it still be a couple mil. Okay. You got that.
Oh man, since it was on the spot, let me see. Eric, top 5 linebackers in the game right now.
Top 5 linebackers in the game.
And you
Inside,
Can, and
inside.
you can include yourself.
I'm number 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Facts.
Obviously, you got to put some respect on Bobby Wagner's name.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, I like Fred Warner's game.
Okay.
I like Darius Leonard's game. I mean, this is like putting top 5 is pretty hard for
It's
me.
tough.
You know what I mean? It just matters about because there's a pass coverage aspect to it.
Mhm.
I feel like you got to respect, and there's obviously the run game, and to me, I feel like this is gonna be my sleeper pick. I feel like when Deion Jones is on
Oh,
From
man.
Atlanta.
Yeah,
from
for
Atlanta,
sure.
you know what I mean?
LSU guy.
Debo.
I
Yeah,
agree.
like
Debo.
his motor is crazy. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? His playmaking ability is crazy.
Yep, yep.
He covers his ass. He covers his butt off.
Oh, you can
You
touch
You know
on
what I
that.
mean? All right. yeah. He covered. You know what I mean? And it's really fun to watch his film. That's how I feel.
Okay,
so
yeah.
that's my wild card pick, I guess.
Gotcha. And Justin,
You got
I got him. What is your favorite thing from Mama Elaine to cook you?
Oh, I can't wait till I go back home.
We talked about Miss Elaine,
been
them
cooking.
cheesecakes, man. She stole me a cheesecake.
She do. She do, and the cheesecake be hitting. But I'll have to say, when my dad cooked that crawfish etouffee,
Yeah. Okay.
that hit different. Oh, that gumbo, one of the two.
John know what he doing with that etouffee?
What?
I ain't never have it, man.
All right.
He gonna have to put a pot together, man.
Come to the crib. Come to the crib.
Last question for you, Justin. The one cornerback you want to see line up opposite of you haven't played against yet, and you
Jalen
want to.
Ramsey.
Oh, that's who you want.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that game circle. That game circle.
Oh,
for
you
me.
do have what week is that?
I
don't
don't
Yeah,
know.
we know Eric don't know the field.
I was like, damn.
We know Eric don't. Ooh, well,
Yeah, that
ooh, that's
Gonna
gonna
be a
be.
good
And do y'all go out there or they come here?
They come here.
But you know it's home.
Yeah.
That's who you want.
Facts.
Oh, that's a nice
That's
matchup.
cool.
That's gonna be a nice matchup.
Facts.
Shoot
Yep.
for the stars. That's what you're supposed to do, right?
Know that.
No question. No question. Well, I
Hey, Pop
appreciate.
Smoke, man. R.I.P.
No question. Hey, man, I appreciate you
Facts.
guys joining us here. All Things Covered, man.
Yes,
It's a
sir.
pleasure. We know we had a long day today, but took some time out to spend with us and our viewers, man. We definitely appreciate you. Best of luck this season. I gave my bold prediction for you guys already. I said you win the division and you at least make it to the NFC Championship game. So I just put my whole little luck on you guys. Y'all got to handle the rest. Because me and Pat P already said the final game should happen in SoFi Stadium
Yeah.
in Los
La La
Angeles.
Land.
That should be the
Facts.
final game. So
Facts.
I just go ahead and got the pot
make it
started.
fair.
Y'all got to finish it.
Yeah,
And
we gotta start.
up next, we got Pete Prisco, who will be joining me. But he said he don't like you guys to win the division. And he's right over there. He said, yeah, that's why a lot of us don't really like him like that. But, you know, it is what it is. He's entitled to his own opinion. But up next, we got our very own Pete Prisco will be joining me and Pat P. See you in a few. Raising the Bar, sponsored by Sonos Arc, is back. This is where we talk about players who have the potential to raise their game to the next level. This week, I want to keep it in the Skoll family. Justin Jefferson is my player. His rookie campaign, 88 receptions, 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns. I do believe he will improve every statistic that I just mentioned to you guys. And because of that, he is the Raising the Bar player. We're back. All Things Covered. Patrick Peterson, Bryant McFadden, coming from TCO Performance Center, Minnesota, home of the Minnesota Vikings. We're now joined by our very own, CBS very own, Pete Prisco. Pete, first time on the show, and I felt like the first time, with you coming on with us, we need to do it in person. So I didn't want to do Zoom.
Three Broward guys.
Three Broward guys.
He's the best of the three from Broward.
In high school, if you had to rank us, where would you rank us then? Who's one?
1, 2, 3.
Oh, you're going to make me 3. Okay. Sounds like a Pete Prisco
I've
thing
seen
to say.
his game against Ely in against St. Thomas in high school is still on YouTube, and you can go and watch it.
Yeah.
It was a one-man show. It was incredible.
Pat, you remember what you did that game?
Man, I did everything. I was a kicker, I was a running back, quarterback, receiver.
Kicker?
Yeah, I was kicking all side kicks. We got them back.
And there was a late flag that cost you the game.
Yeah, man, talking about that game. I didn't know you can get a flag for having 10 men on the field.
Yeah.
That's what we got flagged for. I thought
defensive offense.
We punted the ball off.
Oh, you punted off.
He fumbled. Pierre, I can't remember his last, Lewis, I believe.
Yeah.
Fumbled the punt.
You recovered?
No, I didn't, because I kicked it. I punted the ball.
But your team recovered.
Yes, we get the ball back. It's a minute and something left in the game. All we do, get the ball back, run 2 plays, we win. They run the next, so we got a flag saying that we had not enough men on the field, which is not a flag.
Yeah.
Mr. George, that we was at your house. But anyway,
they cheat St. Thomas.
we kicked the ball off again.
Yeah.
Housed it. So now we got to come back on offense, and we couldn't make it because they beat us by 1 point, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was 7-6 or
yeah,
wasn't that?
it was 13-12.
13-12. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Anybody, if you find it on YouTube, watch it because it's amazing what he did in that game.
Pete, and that's one thing I love about Pete Prisco. The knowledge of the game clearly is obvious with him. He thinks he knows everything when it comes to people he debates against, but guess who always gets his number?
Not you. You got abused all day today.
I get abused all day. What do you mean?
What are you talking about? You're an offer today.
Offer?
You haven't won
Really?
yet.
What you guys were debating?
First of all, he thinks he knows more football than me.
Okay.
He don't.
We walked in the building, and they were showing us around in there, and there was a picture of the Vikings from I guess what year was that? I don't know.
It was in the late
70s, early 80s. And I pointed to this quarterback, and I said, "Who is that?" Because he thinks he knows every guy from every year. He didn't know who it was. It was Tommy Kramer.
Okay. But then I wasn't prepared.
So
we watching practice, and we having a whole debate. And I asked him who threw the interception to Terrell Buckley in Michigan and Ann Arbor.
See if you remember
he didn't know the quarterback. So we went 1 for 1 today.
Yeah, but an interception in a college game?
It doesn't matter.
We're
If you
talking
know
about the
football,
NFL.
you know
We're
football.
talking about the NFL.
It doesn't matter. I know college and professionals. See, I get you on the college side, and I get you on the NFL side. We always have these
Plus,
debates.
he also said you guys were going to win a division, and I debated him on that. I said Aaron Rodgers called him and had a little chat about that.
And I'll prove you wrong in January.
You might.
In
This is a
January,
good team.
I'll prove you wrong. With Pete and the knowledge he has of the game, and Pete has been covering the game for a long, long time. Pat Pete, he said this will be his 32nd Super Bowl that he will be covering.
It makes me old.
That's a long time.
He's old as bread.
That's a long time.
But when you look at what Pete been able to do, one thing I would like to talk about, every year Pete Prisco's come out with this unbelievable rankings of players. His top 100, right? And this year, when you look at the top 100, Pat P, he didn't have you on the list. I mentioned that to you during the season. You look at some of the guys he had, notable cornerbacks on the list. He had Jair Alexander at 14, Jalen Ramsey at 15, Xavier Howard, 24, Marlon Humphrey was 48, Stephon Gilmore 71, Tre'Davious White 78, Darius Williams, who I love out there in L.A. He's played some pretty good football.
Yeah, he had a great year.
He was 99. Pete, how do you come about your list? And Pat said he wasn't deserving of being on your list based on last year.
And when you told him that I didn't have him on the list, what did I say back to you? I have nothing but utmost respect for him because I've had him on the list before many times. We've had many a conversation.
And you said that would motivate him as well.
Well, you said it would motivate
I said it would motivate him.
You said you're motivating your cousin. I said, yeah. No, what I do is I go through all the I watch all the tape, and then I go and I talk to some personnel people and kind of get I throw in my opinion. If somebody steers me in the wrong direction, I'll go back and watch more.
Right.
So it's not something I just throw. It takes me a long time to do. It's a labor of love. It's probably not worth the aggravation I get for it, but I enjoy it.
You get harassed a lot for it.
A lot. I mean, there's an offensive line guy that trains them down to offensive line masterminds, and he got into it with me, and Kyle Long, they complained about my linemen and everything. Look, it's all an opinion.
Right.
But it's based on doing the work, watching the tape, and coming up with an analysis. And I've moved that thing around so many different times.
How long does it normally take you to come through come up with the list?
It's a month-long process. Yeah,
about a month.
Yeah, it's a month-long.
So at the end of the year, so you normally come out with your list around March-ish?
It's probably about April, May, somewhere in there. And I used to do 50. Nobody did a list like that. I did it a long time ago. Then the NFL Network started doing 100, so I expanded it to 100.
So how you have time to do the draft and all this other stuff?
Yeah, it's all in the process. The draft is, and we've already started. Me and him have already started talking about next year's draft. Which quarterbacks we like. You know,
he had an issue with my list of quarterbacks.
Yeah, he had
your top 5.
Yeah, my top 5.
I saw that yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Sam Howell won't be the first quarterback picked.
Pete, that's going into this season. He is the number 1 guy. This man has put up 2 years of real good play. Why would
he's
he
been
be
a good player,
1?
but that's not. Is it your number 1? Is it your top 5 in college football or top 5 going into the draft?
No, it's not draft. It's coming into the college.
So you have
football
Carson
season.
Strong as the 3rd best quarterback in college
Carson
football.
Strong from Nevada.
I think he's might end up being the first quarterback.
I can see that. I can see that. That's the thing about me and Pete Prisco. You know, we brainstorm a lot. We fight a lot, but usually we kind of see things the same way.
Right.
See, and when I go around and talk to players, I learn a lot from you guys. Like you told me, and something that stuck with me for a long time. You said the bigger receivers don't give you as much trouble
wiggle
as the smaller receivers who have the wiggle. And so that I put that in my head when I watch games. I look to see that.
Right.
And so I kind of learn from you guys as I go through the process talking to you.
Pete, who's probably been the biggest miss off your top 100?
Are we going back to Minka Fitzpatrick again?
No. A hit dog will holler. I just asked a question, and the first thing he said, "Are we going back to Minka?" No, I'm just asking your personal opinion. Who's been the biggest miss?
That was that. In looking back on it, it was probably a little bit of a miss, and not a great. I mean, come on now, it wasn't. He's on there this year, so relax.
Pete,
he thinks every Steeler should be on the list.
Pete, no, listen, I don't think that way. But when you left, he left Minka off the list.
Last year.
Coming off of 2019, where he had 8 picks and like 2 for whatever he had.
And you know what? He started out this year playing not that great, and then he really came on.
So that's the biggest miss?
No, there's been other. I remember once I had, what was it? Michael Turner had come off a big year for the Falcons, and I had him in the top 9, maybe it was like 99 or something. And when you looked at it, the wear and tear on his body, he wasn't going to be a top 100 player the next year, and he wasn't. Remember, because those running backs, they fall off quickly.
Very
so
quick.
he kind of, that was kind of a miss too.
Yeah, Pete, when me and Pete had an opportunity to watch practice today, we definitely was intrigued about what we saw. And one thing I know you've talked about personally to me, getting to the Super Bowl, getting to the big dance. You know, for you guys to get to that level, that type of ball game, what do you need to do?
First and foremost, stay healthy.
Yeah.
You know, stay healthy and just continue holding guys accountable. You know what I mean? Because it's going to take every guy that's in the defensive room that makes the team here in the next couple of weeks. We're going to need every helping hand. We can't have any weak links. You know, so the biggest thing is obviously staying healthy, holding guys accountable, and that ultimately putting the work in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I feel like if you do those top 2 things, putting the work in will come easy.
Yeah.
Your fitness defense, they hadn't played as much man as you did in Arizona. Are they going to play more man now with you here?
You guys were at practice half of practice, so we was when Zim. That's what he wants to play. He wants to get in receiver faces, disrupt the timer between the receivers and the quarterback, and you know that's something that me and Breland did over a course of our career. You know, I feel most comfortable there. You know, I love getting my hands on receivers, love having the opportunity to knock them off of that red line like DBs always talk about. So I think it's a perfect fit for me.
Is that why you leaned up to play more? I mean, because we haven't said this, but he's down. He looks like a different guy. He's what are you, 195?
Yeah, about 195.
He looks like a different. He looks younger. He looks like a different guy, doesn't he?
No question. It runs in our family, though.
Yeah. You're aging poorly. But is that going to help you in your man coverage, you think?
I believe so. It makes me a little bit more agile. I believe I can be quicker on my feet. You know, just dial in, just being able to stay square at the line of scrimmage is my biggest thing for me. And I believe that's when I'm at my best, when I'm able to stay square at the line of scrimmage, force the receiver to go where I want him to go. And that's something I've been working extremely hard on this year. And I feel like, you know, getting light as possible will help put me in better position.
Pat, one thing I noticed during the individual period, watching the cornerbacks, you know, go over their drills, the press technique, and you guys were taught to mirror in front of the wide receiver. But I noticed you had your hands tucked in.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because like most DBs have a habit of dropping their hands, dropping them down to their waist side or dropping them down behind their butt. And that's a long way to come back up from when it's time to jam a receiver. So I always my thought process is, I can't tell you exactly, but with my hands for sure, to keep my hands up. And for me, it's just like a small mechanism. So when I watch tape, because I watch a ton of tape of myself, when I start on my hands low, they're going to end up dropping low. Versus when I start them up high, they might drop a little bit, but they still in the holster, ready to punch.
Yeah.
So that's just like a drill and technique I use for myself to make sure that my hands are ready to press at all time, because that's what I'm up there for.
No doubt. And when you look at this team, Pete Prisco, me and you have gone back and forth when it comes to the odds for certain things. The Vikings are 40-1 to win the Super Bowl. Super Bowl odds, 20-1 NFC odds. Win total is at 9 right now. And NFC North odds, they're plus 250. When you look at these odds, what's the most intriguing bet for you, Pete?
Well, if you're going to take a chance, you might as well go big and take a chance on 40-1. I mean, because this team, and I love the makeup of the defense, I really do. We talked about that all day today.
Yeah.
The big fellas in the middle, you can't run on them anymore. They were run on last year.
Right.
You're getting Hunter back and rush the passer. It's going to help you guys in the secondary.
Yep.
You saw Kendricks was here before, and Barr, they're great linebackers.
No
then you
doubt
have you
about
two veterans at the corners, and I think Harrison Smith still plays at a high level, and getting Woods in the back end is really going to help back
Woods
there.
been playing pretty
so
good
you
football.
look at that body of work. This team was known for defense. They were bad on defense last year.
Yeah.
I mean, awful. I mean, they had 23 sacks last year. So if you get the defense playing where it should be, Cook's going to run the ball. Jefferson's going to hit the big play. And like I always say, it all comes down to Kirk Cousins. If he can handle himself in the big situations, then this team can be a deep playoff team. If he doesn't, then it's going to be a problem.
We don't need Kirk Cousins to be Captain Kirk. Just be smart, Kirk.
Yep.
That's it. Just manage the system and make time he plays. The first 5 ball games at Cincy, at Arizona. I know Pat has that one circled. Then you got 3 home games against Seattle, Cleveland, and Detroit.
It's a tough schedule.
It's a sneaky tough schedule.
And it gets really tough as you go throughout it.
I think it's like top 5 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's really tough. And
Top 5
even
schedule.
talking to Mike Zimmer today, they know it's a tough schedule, but you play what's in front of you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, do you have any bad blood going back to play the Cardinals?
No, I don't have no bad blood at all.
No?
Everything it happened. I'm just ready to go back and do what I do.
There you go. See, I like a guy that just moves on.
Yep.
And he holds it all in. And then after he's done, he'll tell everybody about it.
Oh, no question. After it happens, but leading up to it, you know what I mean? It's another ball game.
Yeah.
It's a big ball game for me for sure. But
No
there's
doubt.
no bad blood.
No doubt. Well, you have it. Pete Prisco got an opportunity
I'm
to
just honored to be with you two.
defend his top 100 list. Leaving Micah Fitzpatrick off over a year ago was clearly his worst move in the existence of your list, right?
No, it's one of them. Look, in hindsight, I should have moved him on there.
Yeah, it was the worst. It was the worst. We'll be back in just a second. Pat Pete, I promised earlier I'd tell the listeners and viewers more about Sonos Arc. And guess what? Man, that time has come.
It's here.
Being back here at training camp, it takes me down memory lane to my career. And I shared on the show before, I used to be the locker room DJ for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And man, do I wish I had the Sonos Arc back then. I would have been able to control everything from my locker using the Sonos app. And I would have had the place bumping even more. That's because the vocal clarity is pristine and the bass is next level. You know you need some good bass to get everyone fired up, especially in the locker room, and it fills the whole room. So even the punters and the kickers would be able to hear the sound in their corner of the locker room, and they would have been bumping as well with the rest of the
No doubt
guys.
about it.
We had Ice Cube on the show last week, so before and after the conversation, I put the Sonos Arc in the basement on, and I was bumping Ice Cube. Today was a good day.
Yeah.
It sounded so good, and I'm telling you right now, I noticed the details in the music that I never heard before. I definitely recommend Sonos Arc for everyone. So go to Sonos.com to learn more. We're back, all things covered, with Patrick Peterson and Bryant McFadden coming from the TCO Performance Center here in Minnesota, the home of the Minnesota Vikings. You see, we brought the show on the road. Outstanding show so far. We love to allow the fans to be a part of the show. So this segment is called 7 Questions. 7 questions, you know why? Pat P, he wears number 7, baby.
Yep.
So anytime we get a chance to have the fans be a part of the show, we got to make sure they get their questions in. So 7 questions is where we get a chance to interact with you, the listeners and the viewers. If you want to have your questions be answered in the future, leave a question attached to a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, or hit us up at ATC Cover Pod on Twitter, and we may get to it on the show. This question is coming from Maddie May _ for Pat P. Before the season starts, do you set a certain amount of goals for yourself? If so, do you have any specific goals set for yourself this season?
I usually do, but this year I'm gonna do something different. I did not set any individual goals this year. I just want to go out and be me. You know, I know when I'm me, I'm at my best, so I can expect the best.
Yeah.
You know, so this year, Maddie, it's the first year I did not set any goals. But, you know, what I usually did in the past is, like, you know, no touchdowns allowed. You know, double-digit pitch. You know, that's every DB dream and goal. You know, not giving up any 100-yard games. You know, just things like that. So, but this year I did not.
Okay. Thank you for your question, Maddie. This question is coming from Yes Sir Andy. What do you think of the atmosphere at the game this past Saturday against the Broncos?
Man, it was unbelievable.
It wasn't even a full house, though.
Man, it felt like a full house.
Really?
You know,
It was loud?
Oh man, it was loud. You know, it wasn't loud far as when the defense was out on the field, but far as pregame and the skull chant.
Yeah.
Oh man, it got my blood hot. Man, I wish I had the opportunity to go out there and play, but I might have an opportunity Saturday.
No question.
So-
We might have to wait and see your first appearance.
Oh yeah,
at
but
the
it
new
was
stadium.
live though, man. I loved everything about it, man. DJ was on his P's and Q's, and the fans were just so gracious to be back.
Oh, no question. Thank you for your question, Yes Sir Andy. This next question is coming from Matt Mead, 24. Biggest keys to making the playoffs this year?
Biggest keys to making the playoff this year, obviously staying healthy, winning our division, and just really just holding every man in the locker room, holding each other accountable. You know, so that's our goal. You know, staying healthy, win our division, and holding each and everybody in the locker room accountable, because you know that's what we believe. Those 3 keys can definitely get us over the hump.
No question. It's staying healthy.
Yep.
Staying healthy.
Staying healthy.
Matt, thank you for your question. I hope you guys enjoyed the show coming from Minnesota. It's a wrap. All things covered coming live from Minnesota. We decided to take the show on the road, no Zoom. We got a chance to be in person here with my guy, Pat P. Check out a new episode every Wednesday on all platforms, podcast platforms, and also check us out on YouTube. Just visit youtube.com/allthingscovered. Until next time, peace.
Peace.